can't believe the first month of summer is already gone. When? Meaning I'm already half a year into project planning. Can you believe that? Because I can't. Hi, welcome to the Art of, a place where we do finish some stuff. So, my last update was not as exciting. I didn't meet my penning goals or my usage goals. But this update promises to be different. It seems to me that I might have a little bit overachieved my goals. I can see finally a little bit of progress with my Hard Candy Glamouflage Full Coverage Concealer, aka white paint. Usually I add a little bit to mix with my foundation in order to create a brightening concealer. And after 8 more uses, I can see a little bit of windowing. I do understand that it will take me a lot to finish this product, but I hope it will be gone by the end of the year. This is my first in many products that I managed to use up. 24 uses later, we finally managed to part our lives away. As I mentioned before, this foundation has a kind of attitude problems with me. Sometimes it looks great, but other times it just takes all the red flags that bad foundation can have. And the pump always squirts on me. I don't like that. Okay, not just me, all over the place. Finally, we are done. The second product that will go to Makeup Heaven is this pressed powder from IT Cosmetics. For the last 5 months and 20 days, I didn't quite enjoy using it. The main reason is that the expectations that I got from the packaging and the reality that I got while applying it were totally different. But several days ago, I tried it with a different foundation. It was Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 120. And this is the match made on heaven. With this foundation, this powder does everything that the packaging describes. I can't describe my feelings right now. I love the way my skin looked so much with the combination of these two products. And I feel so bummed because I can't repeat or do it again because the powder is gone. Once again, I'm so sorry I misused you. 15 uses into the game, but I still can't see a pen. Though I do see a little bit of a dip, but it's not as big as I would love it to be. But truth be told, I haven't reached for it at all in May. The reason is because I have this Essence blush in the baked formula, which is supposed to be a very close dupe to NARS Orgasm blush, but it is actually much better, much better. NARS blush has a lot of golden sparkles which are very visible. They are literally like glitter on your cheeks. While this Essence blush has baked formula which gives you a very nice pearlescent sheen, which I love more because it literally looks like polishing my skin. Obviously, I would gravitate towards it more, but I still have to keep my mind straight and use up my project pen item. Now, when it is summer, I hope that I will use it more because since I'm using a warm bronzer which is quite sheer, I think those like golden specks won't be so noticeable and they would look more natural on my skin, hopefully making it more wearable, and as a result I will finally hit a pan by our next update. Iconic London Precision Duo Contour Pot has got a little bit of upgrade. I actually mixed a little bit of Say Glow Gel into it to break the texture. And also I scooped it into the middle to make it possible to apply it with a brush instead of using a mixing palette. It actually did work because I used the green part at least 7 more times. But unfortunately, the powder part I haven't used at all. I blame summer for that because somehow in summer I'm gravitating towards more sheer bronzers or the bronzer that I actually DIY'd instead of this one. I can't push myself to use more of it, but my gut feeling is telling me that maybe I will put this product on the pause till fall and then renew using it. We will see. I used this Uriage mattifying emulsion 12 times during this past 2 months. I wouldn't say that I have seen a huge mattifying properties, but it did create a kind of very smooth canvas for my foundation. As such a canvas creating thing, it worked pretty okay. And since I have achieved my usage goals, I think it's time to put it back into my makeup drawer. My red lipstick. It's such a pity that this packaging is not showing you the rendering because I believe that 10 uses in this project pan should have shown some progress. But actually, this is the kind of product that I do not use just because I have to use it up. I actually enjoy applying it every time, so I'm totally fine if subconsciously I'm just extending its lifespan in my drawer. Moving on to eyes. Let's start with my kind of fail. Unfortunately, I haven't used this liquid eyeshadow from Profusion in the shade Chameleon at all. Mainly because I forgot about it. I totally forgot that I have it in my project pan. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Yeah. Hopefully it will change soon. On the brighter side, I did manage to finish these two Colourpop pencils, Sunnyvale and Get It Lucid. The pinky golden one I use usually as one and done eye look or maybe a base for some sparkly eye shades, mainly toppers. The brown one was my eyeliner for I think at least 8 more times. It's definitely a great win over my huge eye pencil collection. And also, as you remember, I introduced this blue pencil. It is from Wet n Wild, and as far as I remember, this collection is called My Little Twin Star. I use it at least 5 times, and I know that there is a lot left, and I would definitely not finish it by the end of summer. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the progress because the middle cracked, and whenever I unwind it up, it literally crumbles. And you have to believe my word, we still have a lot to go. And also, I forgot to mention its partner. This is from Hard Candy. It's just a blue pencil. Usually I use this one as a base for this one from Wet n Wild because this gives nice color and this gives the durability. Together they work great in my waterline. Can you see what I see? Looks like I completely finished 2 shades. 62 uses since beginning of my panning journey and Vermeer is gone. It's so scary to think that this shade was part of 62 makeup looks. I still can't spin my head around that. And I have 9 more shades to go. It looks like my makeup life will definitely dance around this one palette for another year. No, I'm definitely not planning to do that. At least I hope so. The next shade that I finished is Raw Sienna, but I finished it so far theoretically because it's gone from the pan. I have created a custom bronzer and until I finish it, I will not count it as my empty, and as you have seen, I don't have a lot of it left, so hopefully I will done with it by the end of July. Actually, I thought that I would finish Tempera also by this update, but as you can see, I am definitely left at least with 5 more uses. Though according to my calculation, right now I am at 89 uses mark. What do you think? Would I hit 100 marks with this shade? I think it's because I mainly use this shade as my underbrow highlight. I don't need to use a lot of it, so that's why the progress is kind of slow. And the usage number is different comparing to other shades, for instance, Warm Taupe, which I use much more in my crease. Talking about Warm Taupe, do you see I managed to hit the side pan? 14 users secured a huge side pan for me. I'm very excited about that. Though this is one of my favorite crease shades, so maybe I'm a little bit also sad, so it's kind of bittersweet moment that this shade is finishing. Talking about the side pans, I definitely expanded the pan in golden ochre. I think 8 uses moved me closer to that top left corner. Hopefully I will get there by the end of summer. Actually, I plan to finish this palette by the end of the summer, but we will see. What I actually most proud of is the expansion that I have in my pinks and reds. As you know, they are the most difficult shades for me to use. And can you see the huge chunk missing in Love Letter? I use it 4 times as my nail polish and several more times as my eyeliner. And I'm so happy to see how it is slowly disappearing. And I also used red ochre 9 times. And you can see that the pan definitely expanded, which I believe is the second biggest usage I have in this eyeshadow since I started this project. And this is all thanks to your recommendations on how I can actually use up those pinks and reds. But on the other side, unfortunately, I used Venetian red just once. I think that it is due to the fact that the pan in Love Letter is much bigger and I was much more motivated to use it up. And since both shades are very similar, instead of Venetian red, I was using Love Letter. That's the irony. The next one is Real Girl. I believe I use it only once as my eyeshadow because mainly I use it as a pigment for my liquid blush. Also, I used Bonfresco only once, which is such a shame because I've been rocking that shade in spring so much that I don't know how I ended up using it just once in the last 2 months. Also, we can add burnt orange to the team of shades that I use only once. I can see here a pattern. I was definitely going for the shades with bigger pan so I can expand it more and more. Progress has always been motivating me. Actually, I'm not quite worried about burnt orange because I know that as soon as I finish my custom bronzer, I will create a new one using burnt orange and use it up. What I'm actually worried about is Real Girl. Somehow it is so taxing on me to use it. But maybe since it is a summer season of bronzy warm looks, I will use it more in my eye makeup. Maybe. You might think I have forgotten about Cypress Umber. Actually, I didn't. I have not used it at all in the last 2 months. And mainly because I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way I have to apply it. I don't like the way it shears down and blends. I have the same shade in my Soft Glam palette, and instead of this one, which I really don't like, why not to use the one that performs much better and does what I ask it for? Be a deepening shade. Good deepening shades. So I'm really thinking of decluttering it. Because panning should not be an obligation. You should not use up all the product that you have. If the product doesn't work, better to give it to somebody else, or in my case, maybe declutter it. Though maybe I will try to use it as my nail polish, but I don't like having such a dark nail polish on my fingers. So I think the only option I have is literally to declutter it. Let's not finish on a sad note and move on to the products that I plan to roll in. The first one is my new foundation. It is Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 120. It is a great foundation for my skin type. Even though it's a little bit darker and it is a darker foundation that I have, I usually use it in summer. It is still a little bit too dark. So I'm planning to mix it with my Hard Candy Full Coverage Concealer and wear it off a lot and get more usage on that concealer, aka white paint. Moreover, I think I have a secret talent of picking the foundations with the worst packaging or pouring kind of methods. I hate pouring out foundation out of the bottle. Why not to put a kind of dropper or a pump? I think dropper will be cheaper. I'll still have to make it work. As soon as it settles down, I will put here the picture of the starting point. I think I should be somewhere in the middle. Okay, moving on to primers. I think we should have started with primers. I'm planning to put 10 uses goals on this NYX Plump Right Back Primer. It's not just primer, it's a plumping serum plus primer. I want to see how it works. And it is a newer product in my makeup collection, so we will pan it later. The powders. I think I don't have the powder that I really don't like, so since I've been using the powders that I was not a fan of, why not start using the powders that I actually like? I think for these 2 months, I will use my, once again, Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Tan. It's very light. I'm planning to pour a little bit of it into this container to make it easier to use. Once again, I will put up the picture somewhere here of my starting point. Since it is summer, and I want to rock color as much as possible, I'm planning to bring in these 2 eye pencils. I definitely won't use it by the end of August, but I want to put at least 10 uses goals on each of them. These are Daydreamer and Sunshine. They are from the same collection as the blue one that I have. It is Wet n Wild, my little twin star collection. Also, while inspecting my lipstick drawer, I noticed that this bullet lipstick from Makeup Forever in the shade 164 is starting to smell weird. The smell definitely changed. And I feel so bad about it because this is one of my favorite lipsticks. So I think I will put much more efforts into using it up as soon as possible because I want to get the most out of it while it still lasts. Maybe I will even need to pause my usage on my Sephora red lipstick. Or maybe not, we will see. And the eyeshadow. The thing is, as you can see, I'm left with solemnly matte eyeshadows, which are predominantly pink or reddish or leaning into that direction. And it means that I'm getting very limited with my color stories and with the eye makeup that I can wear. I like shiny stuff, so I have no other option but to introduce a kind of partner palette, or in my case, palettes, in order to get the most out of my modern renaissance. The first palette that I'm going to introduce is Lost in Los Angeles from BH Cosmetics. I think this palette definitely represents summer in the palette. I'm going to use it as my ABH partner palette during July, and in August I will introduce the other BH Cosmetics palette that I have, Romantic Nomad. I have to see if all the shades are of similar quality or maybe some of them are better than others. I think that will be a great palette for August, and mattes from ABH will complement the shimmers from these 2 palettes. What about you? Are you setting some summer makeup goals, or you're just planning to go with the flow? Maybe you have some summer solemnly dedicated products that you use during only that season. If yes, let me know. I would love to hear that. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye. Still can't understand how I could have forgotten about such a great shade. Mystic.